Hi guys! So today I'm going to talk about my high school experience because I've been asked to talk about that quite a few times and I haven't really replied anyone in detail saying I'm going to do a video, and I never really did that video, so that's what I'm doing today. I think I had quite an eventful, I want to say, high school experience, which I think lots of you would be surprised hearing about, and I think it can be helpful for some of you that maybe in high school still and really don't like it. I went to a Catholic and private high school. My parents are not Catholic by any means, but they wanted me to be looked after because it's something that might not really be noticeable through my videos, because I seem like a very calm person, which I am in a way, but I'm also, at least I still am, but it's kind of different. But I was a very rebellious person. I'm still a very kind of rebellious person. I don't do well with authority. So I was sent to this school so that I would not do anything bad. My high school was very little. There were very few students. It was very strict, extremely strict. The level was quite high as well. It was expensive too. So most of the kids, well, most of the teenagers that went there were really well off. Well, at least their parents were quite wealthy, which was not my case. We didn't really click. If I were to kind of divide the students' population, I would divide it in three. There were the ones who were like no particular kind of person or people, we didn't really belong to any kind of group or anything, and I think I fell into that category. That was the minority. Then the two other big groups were the Catholic ones, or rather, as I like to say, the ones that call themselves Catholics. They were always trying to talk about other people behind their backs. They were really intolerant. They dressed all the same, they behaved all the same, they thought all the same. They didn't want to interact much with anyone that was different. They were really conservative for most of them. They were playing like the good kids in front of authority figures, but really behind that was not true. And there were the other ones that were wealthy, that were, if I were to compare it to something you would see in the cliche representation of the US high school, it would be the popular ones. They were not really popular, but they thought they were, and they had money, and they were partying all the times, and they were pretending to be friends with everyone when they were not really friends with anyone. They were not used to seeing anyone different or anything different. I had a couple of friends with me, but most of my friends went to another high school. In my high school, we didn't have the right to wear a lot of makeup. We didn't have the right to dye our hair, to have piercings or tattoos. And then it got stricter. So at the beginning, I didn't have much issues with authority. I had a few because of my makeup mostly. The funny thing is I actually got on really well with one of the person that was in charge of, looking after the students. How do you call that? You know what I mean? She had been in the army before, and you would think I would not get on well with her at all, but we did get on well, super well. So I had a bit of issues, but not too much. My first year I had a lot of issues with other students. I don't really know why. Immediately most girls hated me, and I hate having to say that because I don't think it's true that girls hate on each other all the time, but girls wanted me to be kind of, I guess, to be part of their group, to follow them, to party with them. I had no interest in that at all because, first of all, I genuinely don't have any interest in doing that kind of stuff. So, and they were really hypocrites, and I knew they were, just waiting for the next gossip or anything like that, and I just didn't like this state of mind at all. So I was very polite with them. When I was invited, I said, "Oh, sorry, I don't really feel like going." I mean, if you're like a mature and kind person, you would have understood that it was not my thing and I was not interested in that, and you would have been like, "Okay, that's fine." But they didn't take it like that. I think they were quite upset and a bit like moody because I rejected them, or they felt like I had rejected them, and they started really hating on me. And more so, they were talking about me all the time, saying that I was really arrogant, cold, mean, scary even. And that got to the point where I actually got some teachers come and talk to me about how I needed to sort out my behavior, how some other pupils were actually scared of me, and how I needed to work on my empathy. I would say hi, I would smile, I would say thank you. If anyone were to talk to me, I would reply completely normally. I would hold the doors for them or all sorts of things. But I had really good grades and I'd gotten well with most teachers, and I didn't really give a shit about what they were doing. And I think I appeared as someone really cold and really like strange for them, and they didn't know how to react. They hated on me for that because I was different and because I didn't want to play the same game or comedy as them. Honestly, at the beginning I was really upset about that because I felt like it was so unfair. I was being so nice and honest to them, and yet I was the one being blamed for my behavior when they were talking about me in my back all the time. I got stronger and I was like, I don't give a shit. I interacted a little bit more with some of the students in my class, so it got slightly better, and I had my friends anyway. It was just a general atmosphere that was really bad. Then I have to admit, I even kind of started not liking it, but I started to find it very funny. I knew I could say and do anything and no one would really say or talk back to me, and I know it sounds really strange, but that was how it was. Really, I was not a bully. I was actually kind of the one being bullied, but at the same time everyone was kind of scared, and I don't know, that was really strange. And you know, at the beginning they were like, oh my god, I love the way you dressed, you're so different and you're so pretty and blah blah blah. And then it started being like the complete opposite. They were like, oh, she's so weird. Then I got with my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, my boyfriend of that time. At the beginning was okay, but then, and that was when I was in my second year of high school, his friends, mostly girls, again, started hating on me a lot. Oh my god, that went crazy. Like, they were really mean to me. They even started like picking up fight with me, which sounds really stupid. I actually felt at that time like I didn't want to go to school anymore. Like, it was really stressful for me every day to wake up and I had to think, oh my god, I'm gonna see them again. I'm gonna have to pretend it's fine. I hope they don't come talk to me today or that kind of stuff. Twice it went to the point where actually one of them, you know, got really pissed off and really mad at me, and she even like screamed and yelled at me. I was really uncomfortable. The thing is, I can be the most passionate and kindest person on earth, really. I can do anything for you, even if you treat me like shit. But if I get into a state of mind where I want to be mean and attack you, I will do it, and I will do it really bad. Like, I will know exactly what to say and say the thing that hurts. I did reply this few times, and that just made it worse because everyone was like, she's really mean, she's really cold, and she's really scary. You see, even with like students, that was really not easy, really not nice. My last year of high school was a bit more complicated. I guess at that time I already started to delve a little bit into depression and anxiety a lot, and I missed a lot of classes. Like, I skipped a lot of classes. The school policy got stricter and I was sent back home almost every day because I was not wearing appropriate clothing, not appropriate makeup, because so many different things, really. I was almost expelled out of high school. I went into the principal's office so many times you have no idea. You know, I had a lot of issues with like discipline and authority at that time. Like, really, I didn't give a shit. Like, honestly, now I think I did the right thing because they were just body shaming me, slut shaming me when I was not even wearing like revealing clothes or things that were overly short or anything like that. But they told me awful things, like I was distracting for other students, especially boys, that I was giving a bad image of high school just because I was different, you know, just because I had a lot of makeup and white contacts or huge shoes, when they didn't say anything to the kids that were smoking and drinking in front of high school at lunch break. I said I would not give a shit and continue being myself until the end. So that's what I did with the support of my parents, which honestly, now that I look back on that, I think my parents were really amazing. They were so supportive and so open-minded, which I think is really, really cool. But you know, that was hard. That was hard going to high school knowing that I would be sent back home. I would have to change myself. I would have to deal with, you know, other students talking about me, especially when they discovered that I had a YouTube channel. So there were many things in the high school that were shitty for me and that really, really were kind of sad and upsetting. But the thing is, I focused a lot on what I had besides high school. I had my friends, I had the internet, I had my books, my drawings, music I loved listening to, my cats. I knew, you know, that it was not the end of the world. Like, it was not all there was to the world. And even though I felt kind of lost and alone, and I had sometimes, you know, I questioned myself. I was like, am I the one doing something wrong? Am I really that strange? And that definitely left a mark on me, because all my life I've been told that I am strange. But I survived. I hope that inspires you to see further in high school, you know, to not think that it's the end of the world, that's all there's going to be to your life, and that it's something impossible to deal with or anything like that. It's not that bad. But on the other hand, if you're really dealing with a situation that's out of control, if you're really bullied physically or emotionally or verbally, talk about it to people. Talk about it to your family, your friends, to your teachers. Change schools if you have to change school. You're never the one who's guilty of that, you know. If you don't want to talk to anyone, if you're weird or whatever, it's your choice. Nobody should blame you for that. So if you're being blamed, or even worse, attacked or threatened for that, go seek for help.